Well, hello, Plannerets. How are you all? I do appreciate you being here. Happy Easter. Hope you got lots of Easter eggs and got lots of done a lot of hunting, Easter egg hunting. Now, I do appreciate you joining me here today on your little mini holiday break. So, for today, I'm going to be setting up my Hobonichi cousin weekly spread for the week of April the 1st to April 7th. I am here in, pardon me, I am here in Sydney, Australia. It is actually now April 1st here, so I'm coming to you live from the future. Now, if you are tuning in the live chat, make sure you say hello in the chat section. Let me know where you are tuning in from. And of course, if you are watching on replay, hello, how are you? And type in the comment how you are feeling this week. Are you ready for the new month? So without further ado, we're going to get going. So, like I said, I am in my Hobonichi cousin. I did change up my cover. So, I purchased this black one with the baby blue lining for the A5 cousin, as well as the Hobonichi original. The Milligram shop online retail store here in Australia had a massive 50% off sale. So, I couldn't resist getting additional covers for my Hobonichi cousin and Hobonichi original. So I thought I'd change it up. So, but today I am going to be setting up my weekly spread. So I have gone back. I told you, for those of you that watch me, I told you I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to be swapping from planner to planner, but that's what personal planning is all about. You do what fits you in the moment as well. So now I have already set up my calendar, my April calendar. So nothing really fancy. Let's have a quick look. Hello, Karen. How are you? Nice to see you. Happy Easter. Exactly. I'm so glad you're here. And Deborah, hello. Hello, Plannerets. And Angela, hello, everybody. I do appreciate you being here. So it might be a little bit quiet in the chat because, of course, people might be spending time with their family during this Easter break. Mine are still asleep because, like I said, it is 5:32 a.m. here in Sydney, Australia. So really, if we do have time, I will show how I did this hand lettering font using my Kuretake Z Clean Color Dot marker. So if you are interested, do remind me because, the brain fog does kick in from time to time. So I want to make sure that if we do have a spare moment, I'll quickly show you how I did this hand lettering font. But like I said, I'm going to be setting up my Hobonichi weekly spread. So this is what it would look like. So this is just a blank one. So you've got the columns from Monday to Sunday, and this is a grid with a 24-hour time block. But I don't use it in that way because I do use my daily. I do a daily in my traveler's company passport size. Yes, I think so. And then I added this ring mechanism that I took from an old pocket organizer I wasn't using. And then these are my own printable downloads. So I don't use this in the time blocking fashion because I will do that pretty much in my daily section here. So you ask, Marianne, how do you use your weekly spread? So I have, let me just quickly move these. Let's look. So I have already started because I am aware of time, and sometimes I do go over my 1 hour time slot. And in most cases, when it is a work day or a school day, 6:30 a.m. here at my place, the kitchen starts buzzing and there's noise. So I thought I'd start already, so then explain to you how I did it. So for my now, of course, all items I do mention and show in today's video, all the details are in the description below. So do check that out after the live stream. And if I do forget something, I'll go back and add them on. So these little cute number stickers are from the Carpe Diem number sticker pad. So I do have that linked in the description. So you have got quite a few different shaped number stickers here. So big circles, little circles, and then even bigger circles, and then sort of like a nicely sort of like the outline and little bunting flags. So for these ones, I use the medium size sticker, and I just use different colors. So I just picked whatever color was there for the different dates, and then that's how I added this, just to add a bit of pop and color to the top of the page. And then I like to add on my weekly spread the weather forecast for the week, because even though for me I am a stay-at-home schooling mum to my younger son who's on the autism spectrum, so we're pretty much in, here, and we don't travel to and from here, and so probably apart from when we do have excursions. But my husband and my older son work and go to school outside of the home, and so I like to know what the weather is so then I can help them prepare. So if it's this week, it's going to be raining most week here. So then when they're out and about, I'll remind my son, make sure you bring an umbrella. So now it's autumn here and it is starting to get colder. So I'll make sure that they bring a jumper or a jacket, because of course when they're coming back home later in the afternoon or early evening, it might get colder. So hello there, Marcus. Nice to see you. How are you? Happy Easter to you. I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Now, like Marcus, if you are here in the chat and you haven't said hello yet, make sure you do. Don't be shy. We are a very welcoming bunch here at Mariane Cresp Planneret community. So that's where it is. Now, this one, this is a digital sticker weather icon that I purchased from Square Lime Designs. Again, I do have an affiliate link and a discount code that you can use on Christina. She's from Square Lime Designs website. And so what I do is I print them out using my printer. I print them on sticker back paper, and then I use my silhouette cutting machine to kiss cut. So what's called kiss cut is it cuts the top layer of the sticker paper, see, but not the backing. So it's just really like that light cut. So kissing it, right? And then so it's easier for you to peel it off. And the way I did this is I just customized each sticker to the size that I want. I think that's about 1/2 inch or 2.5 centimeters. And then I just filled this little, so I made it into like a little booklet style. So I used the Avery sticker paper. And so one side I do one weather icon, and then on the other. And then I just folded it in half, stapled in the middle, just added a nice printed paper, craft paper, and then there's a little booklet, and I just added a little label at the top, and that lives in one of the pockets of my cover. So then it's nice and handy when I look at what the weather forecast is. I check my watch, see what it is. Let's have a look on the weather icon. So there, I'll just check it as well as the temperature. And that's just a really good way, not only to embellish your planner pages, because we love to use our washi tape stickers and all the stationery stuff to embellish our pages, because we want to make sure planning and setting up our pages is not only for productivity stuff, but also as a form of self-care. Who doesn't get those dopamine hits when we are embellishing our planner pages? Shanantha, hello, how are you? Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. So then that's where I will put it. So do let me know in the chat, or of course, if you are watching on replay, do you put the weather on your planner, whether it's on your weekly spread or on your daily? Is that something that you pop on top of your planner pages? So let me know in the comment section or in the chat. The other thing that I like to put on top of my weekly spread, and the way I use the Hobonichi cousin, is I put the known events, top priority that I need to get reminded. So for example, here I have today's 5:30 YouTube live stream. And then I've got a coaching call that I attend. Now, this is at 4:00 in the morning because it is a US-based online course. So it's nice and early. And then tomorrow I'm going to have my online program that I released 4 weeks ago, the course, and then all the other important dates. So then I remember. So then that way, when I'm planning each day in my daily page, I can just migrate those onto there. So like you can see here, so 5:30 a.m. YouTube live stream, it's on there. So then that way For the moment, I need as much reminder as possible. So some may say that, wow, that's a lot of doubling up. But you know what? When I forget things and then, or I don't do them, I need all the help I can get. So I may have to double up on, how many times I have to write something because, as they say, to get it out of your head and down on paper. That way you don't forget. Now, Deborah says, I love the visual for your weather for the week. I'm starting to put it on my planner. Excellent. So whether you draw it yourself, you can, of course, just hand draw little sun, cloud, and rain icon. So it's nice and easy. So either way, it is really a great way for you to get yourself organized by knowing what the weather forecast might be. You're a little bit more prepared so you don't get caught by, not having an umbrella when it's raining. And of course, we know the weather already causes havoc, for our day-to-day routine. So the more you can be prepared for it, the better, right? So fantastic. I love that Deborah is also going to be starting to put the weather on a planner page. All right. So I think my camera is a little bit off because I'm one of these that I need to have it all perpendicular. That's all right. Okay, I'll fix that later. So that's just my qualm, everybody, that I got to have the same space, top and bottom. Now, how do I use the rest of the weekly page? So, of course, we got to embellish the bottom with washi tape because what's the point of having all these washi tapes that I have bought rolls and rolls and rolls if we don't use them? So this one, it says boundless possibilities. This is part of a Filofax Together collection. So it comes with this one. Let me see what else. It comes with, so it comes in a pack of 3, this cute red with little hearts, as well as these cute little girls here. And so this is from their Together collection. And so that comes in a pack of 3. Okay, and then to cut the little, you can use a ruler, just a plain rule, a ruler like this, or I do have, I've just remembered I haven't popped this in so let me just put Hobonichi stencil. So this is the Hobonichi simple stencil. It is in my Amazon storefront, so if you do, check that out. And so one side is, can you see the jagged edge? So that helps you, see, tear your what's this called, washi tape. So I like to just add that at the bottom, so then that way it has a nice little color at the bottom of the page, because one of the 4 laws of behavior change, according to James Clear's book Atomic Habits, is for you to be able to create new habits, maintain new habits, or even eliminate bad habits or old habits, is to make it attractive. I don't know if you can see. Let me just pop it here. Let me see if I can make it focus. See how at the back there it says tiny changes make a big difference. So where is it? Make it attractive. Number 2 is one of the 4 laws of behavior change. So for you to use your planner more often than not, if it's simple, boring, then you may not use it as often. Now, I'm not saying this simple and boring doesn't mean minimalistic, because there's some beautiful minimalistic pages that just have the one color, just have the pen, and then they embellish it with beautiful hand lettering font. So whatever works for you, whatever attractiveness is to you, whether colorful rainbow washi tapes and colors like I do, or more of a minimalistic, aesthetic with those beautiful neutral colors, you need to make it attractive to you, so then you use it more often. So that's why we get, distracted by shiny things or moving things in the corner, squirrel. So one of the 4 laws of behavior change. So that's the washi tape. So I add that at the bottom. Now, here's the thing that I like to use on here. So I'm going to use, here we go, my Pilot drawing pen. So this is a felt tip pen. So now I originally saw this idea from Just Be With Euodia here on YouTube, and she uses her Hobonichi cousin. I think she uses a different planner now, but still the same, is she creates little task boxes on the page itself. So different task box has different, sorry, trying to talk and draw a straight line at the same time takes a lot of energy to keep the lines nice and straight. Let me see if I can um, zoom in a little bit more. So then you can see now I have drawn it already in pencil. So then that way I don't mess up, how many grid pages there is. So I just use, this is the zero point 0.5 tip. And then so you can just use a pen as well. It doesn't have to be a felt tip pen. And then so the black ink just makes those task boxes stand out on the page. Now let me show you the little corner here. See how I've curved that little corner? What you do is create this sort of like little wave type thing, and it looks like the page is turning up. Isn't that cute? And then let's have a look at the other page, the other side. So I have already thought of what I'm going to use for each task box. Pardon me, my throat is getting quite dry because I do have a little cooling fan, uh, because I have discovered that sometimes the light that I have, the softbox lights, can get quite hot, and I am on my perimenopausal journey at 49. So I don't know whether it's the heat of the lights or the excitement of joining you here, and then that get me quite warm. So then that, with the fan sort of just coming at me here to my right, my voice can get quite dry, or my throat can get quite dry. Make sure I am on screen. So I will show you how I use each of the task boxes for the daily habits and routines that I would love to keep track of. Now you might say, Marianne, really, that's a lot of work doing all those lines. It could be, but you know that thing that we talk about, finding some me time? So if your me time, if you're like me and enjoy your planner, enjoy setting up your planner pages, as well as playing with your stationery, your markers, your stickers, then this is a great form of mindfulness, right? Mindfulness is about being in the present moment, not worrying about the past, not worrying about the future, and just, you know, concentrating on what's the task at hand, which is creating these lines, creating these, little task boxes, getting the right stickers, getting the right washi tapes to embellish your page. So those are the task boxes. So that one, these will be in the pens, markers, and highlighter list on my Amazon storefront. So the first box I have, this is for my 7 key areas of focus. So I've been following Zig Ziglar's Wheel of Life 7 key areas of focus very loosely. I really just use the headings, the 7 headings of making sure to get a great balance in your day-to-day life. You want to be doing something in 7 key areas. Doesn't mean you have to do all 7 key areas each and every day, because we know life is just not enough time in the day. So sometimes, some balls may get dropped, or some, areas may get neglected, but it's important that at least you get to see that there's a good balance. So I'm going to use this Pentel Arts brush up tip pen that this is gifted from Pentel Australia. So I'm going to use these two here just to continue the sort of like that blue and red theme. So this is a nice little small brush tip, so you can see. So if you want to do like a little hand lettering, so that thickness on one side and thin, I won't be doing that today, but what I will be doing is going to use this. So I've already practiced here on a post-it note. So my little heading or header. Let me see, make sure. I always go backwards. I have to make sure like to that way is zoom in. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to use the red. Okay, and I've already again penciled in. So then, because when I am talking and writing at the same time, I know if I don't have that penciled guide focus areas, that I will spell something incorrectly, and these things of course are permanent. And if you're like me, I don't like to make mistakes on my page, or, and then I get upset with myself, and, that perfectionism tries to sneak in and derail the, I'm sure is already good enough page. But that's one of the things that sometimes gets us down, like you'll have like a beautifully set up page, and then you'll focus on one tiny little error, and then that can upset you. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm not so too hung up on things being perfect. Okay, so then in this task box, I've got focus areas. So I'm going to write down the habits that I want to achieve in spiritual, physical, mental, family, career, finance, and social. So I'll do those there. So it's about meditating. It's about uh, doing a workout, reading. And so I'll write that down in a second. But what I'll do for the last week, I'm going to create a little bar graph, because I am such a visual person. And what they say is what you track, you make progress. Or let me start from here so I don't what do you call it, smudge it. So this one is the Pilot Friction, fine liner pen. So this was part of a campaign, brand partnership campaign that I did with them back in January. So that was part of it. And then if you do make any errors with any of the friction products, is you can actually erase it, or rather than erase, it vanishes with friction. So let me just let that dry. And so it's got this little rubber tip at the top, and then if you make any errors, you just go and gone. So then if by any chance I made any mistake with these lines, I ruled it incorrectly, I can just erase it, and then it's gone. Right? So isn't that fantastic? Now I am going to refer back to an old page, because I've forgotten I've forgotten how I set it up. Marianne, how did you set up the rest of your, okay, here it is. So then I created some to differentiate between the different days of the week. I'm going to now get, which one shall I get? Let's go get a Tombow jewel brush pen. Maybe I'll zoom out so it's not so close and you can see the rest. Oh, hello there, Irene. How are you? Happy Easter to you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just chatting away here, not looking at who snuck in there. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, so here, I won't write it in yet because it's written in pencil, because I don't want the pen to smudge after, if I put the highlighting after. So I'm just going to highlight Monday column, miss Tuesday, Wednesday, and then miss the next day, Friday, and I think I might have made that curl. All right. And then, so then that way when I'm marking off my habits, I can go, I'll know exactly which column I'm supposed to be on. Now I'm going to use the Pentel Energel. So this is the Cleaner barrel, and it's in 0.38 nib. So the 0.38 comes with it, but you can change You can change refill. So they've got zero point 0.4 as well as zero point 0.5 and zero point 0.7. So I'm using this one. I would normally use a fountain pen, but because that ink will still be quite wet, so not fully dry, if I wrote over it now with a fountain pen, the fountain pen ink will feather, because it's the Tombow ink is still wet underneath it, so it's going to feather, so it's going to look like all blurry. So, and I don't want that. So let's have a look. So meditate is one of the things I do in the morning. I'm going to read. I'm going to track my expenses. So these are the daily habits I want to try and do daily, or at least on a regular basis. So then that way I don't neglect one area or the other. I'm just going to see, and then I'm going to do a workout. Now, so this one, priority. So priority is the top priority of the day that I would have written for myself for the daily planning, whether it's homeschooling priority, my social content, or, me time, making sure that I do that. And then connect. So make sure that I am, chatting with a friend, with family member, DMing them, FaceTiming them. And then for the family key area of focus, I'm going to put clean our little flat, because it's important that your environment as well, it affects your mood, your productivity, your stress and overwhelm. So for me, if I go and step on one of my children's, my younger sons, he loves to create little cities on the floor. And so those little blocks, he stacks them up. If I step on one of them, right, so that's not mess, but I have everything around it, the clutter, I make sure that at least that it is put away. So that's my focus areas. So based on Zig Ziglar's Wheel of Life in 7 key areas of focus. Now this last week one is, how did I go with my habits based on how I did the previous week? So let me show you an example. So this one was February 12th to the 18th. So this little bar graph is based on how I did with these habits the week before. See this? See how I marked off each and every one that I completed? So this here, I transfer that information into this bar graph. So then that way, visually, I can see which area is, I didn't do as often. So maybe this week I need to make sure that I don't neglect that again and again and again. So if you start to see that you're neglecting, maybe contacting your family and friends week in, week out, and then you look up and just wonder, why isn't anybody contacting me? It's like, maybe you should be contacting them too, or if they're going, oh, why aren't my clothes fitting? And it's like, well, have you done any type of movement, in the last 3 to 4 weeks? So visually, this little bar graph helps me see exactly which areas that I'm doing well in. So celebrating the wins, and then which areas maybe I've neglected that I need to maybe focus in the new week. So that's how that works. Let me know what you think of this little so Wheel of Life. So if this one's not a wheel, in my well-being, it is, like a pie graph, but it's easier for me to do a bar graph than try and do a circular pie thing. So that's that, and then I'll fill that in once the new week starts. So let me just I'm just going to create a little line there. So that's that one. Now this one here, I'm going to use, so this here is, I created this myself, the task box idea from Just Be With Yoda, but this one here is my interpretation of the Wheel of Life, tracking. So this one is the running total, running to-do list. So it's based on the Alistair method that you write down your task in non-chronological order. You assigned it to a particular day of the week, and then you just look at the task that's assigned for that day, so you don't worry and you don't get overwhelmed with all the tasks that you have to try and do for all of the week. And then now I'm going to now use the baby blue Tombow mark. So this one is 4451 if you're following along, and this one is 991. And so same thing, I'm going to go and create little differentiation between the days of the week right in my little initial: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then now I'm going to go and highlight this first because I want to use the Pentel marker, and I haven't tested whether it will smudge or bleed after. I'm trying to create the line just looking at the screen because I don't want you to see the top of my head with all my grey, which is all right. It's okay. Embrace the greys, right? Okay, so I might leave that for a second because I don't want it to, for me, if I put this right away and the ink might still be wet, that it might go and, what do you call it, smudge. All right, so on here, I've written already, penciled in a few of the different wellness habits that I want to track on a daily basis. Now let's see, maybe I'll use the blue on it. First, I'm going to use this one again, which is the baby blue fine liner, and I'm just going to create little lines so it looks like a little notepad or a little sheet of lined paper. And so I'm just going to, so this is going to be my reading tracker. So I like to note down how many minutes that I read whatever book I'm reading. So normally the book that I like to track are the non-fiction ones, so majority of the books I'm reading are either, creating habits, building better productivity habits. And so that way, because I know I can get quite overwhelmed and anxious with different things. And then I'm going to use the red one and create a little border. And look at that. Doesn't that look sweet and look pretty on there? So now I'm going to go and you do the blue Pentel brush pen. And I don't think I'm going to fit reading. So I'm just going to put read. So heading probably might make sense. Read, and then get my pen again and then write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, by tracking things like this that you want to build better habits with or maintain, because I've been doing been pretty consistent with my reading in the morning. So reading, of course, expands your mind. And so what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the reason why I want to track it, because tracking something, like I said, I think it's Peter Drucker, he's a productivity guru. What you track, you progress or you improve. And not only is tracking something a good way for you to see your progress, it's a great motivational thing as well, because then you go, I can't miss a day. That's why those apps, those apps that track your winning streak, because then it knows. That's how our brain works. It looks for winning moments, it looks for happy moments, and that's why a lot of things are gamified, like your phones ping at us to say there's a notification, there's likes, there's number of followers, comments. Those things actually play on the need for those dopamine hits. So tracking your habits and tracking things that you want to improve on is a great way for you to go and, motivate yourself, because sometimes motivation is not there. We get so hung up on, I don't want to do it. All right. So the other wellness things that I want to track throughout my week are I've written it down. So I want to know if I'm taking my multivitamins, if I'm doing my deep breath. So, as part of making sure you don't burn yourself out, you need to be scheduled in your break. It's not one of those, you're overwhelmed, you're stressed, I better have a break. No, because when you're overwhelmed and stressed already, you're already burnt out. You want to be proactive rather than reactive, because we know sometimes burning out can really cause a lot of havoc with our minds, our self doubt, our limiting beliefs, right? So, making sure parts of 1 minute deep breathing, slowing down the heart rate, getting up from your desk and stretching allows you to release all that tension that your body might be having when you're stressed and overwhelmed. And then getting outside, also no spending, looking for the positive things, as well as staying hydrated. All right, so I'm going to use, let's have a look. I want to use the blue one, so I'll probably just do a couple of these because I want to get to the right hand side of the page. But this is how it will look. Okay, let me, and a great tip is, if you're doing any hand lettering and you want to make sure that the words fit in the space you're writing them in, is write them on another piece of paper first, and then that way you can line it up nicely in the middle. Because I don't know about you, you know how you've been writing, let's say January, if there's so many letters in the word January, so you start here, and then when you get to the end, you got to try and squeeze in RY, and then it's like beautifully spaced until you get to the end. So this is a great tip. So if you're like me that go, I've run out of space, write it on a little post-it note, and then have that as your guide to make sure it fits within the space that you are writing it in. Or, of course, you can pencil it in, but sometimes penciling it in, because your pencil is a thin line, and then if you're going to use a much broader tip, then yeah, it's not the same. Even if you do have the um, the pencil marking as a guide. Now, deep breathing won't fit, so I'm just going to go breathe. Breathe. I'll know that means to take the deep breaths. So, deep breathing allows you to slow down your heart rate, because one of the signs of stress is increased heart rate. And so, what that does is it signals to our nervous system that there might be, trouble ahead. There might be danger. Be cautious. And then it'll trigger your fight, flight, or freeze. And so that's when the stress comes in. Stretch, stretch. The stress comes in, and then the fear comes in, and then the self doubt comes in. Stretch. Okay. And then the next one, get outside. So, of course, getting outside not only allows you to have movement in your body, but also get some sunlight, if it's not raining. And sometimes getting outside can just mean going in your backyard if you're lucky enough to have a backyard. I live in an apartment block, so I have to get out of the building for us to go walk. But even sometimes we just go walk around the building. It's a big building, so we walk around the block, my son and I, during our homeschool break. So that's a really good one. Now, no spend is another great way for wellness, tracking your wellness, because if you're, trying to have a financial freedom, get out of debt, and maybe you overspend. So that's another great way for you to track your wellness, is making sure you're not spending stuff that you're, frivolous stuff that maybe you haven't budgeted or saved for. Now, the other thing that I like to do is, finding the good stuff in the day. Gratitude log. Uh, what are you thankful for? what are the great things that's been happening in your day? So the more you look for the positive things in your life, the more you will spot them. You know how when you're having a bad day, it just seems like everything is going wrong? That's because we are focusing on all the negative stuff. And sometimes we actually, anticipate it. We look for it because what else can go wrong? Right. And so by making sure you look for the positive things, will allow you to see more of it. So let me know again, any of you in the chat, or if you are watching on replay, do you practice gratitude log or gratitude journaling in your day or, on a regular basis? So I'm just going to use the yellow Tombow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm just going to highlight here the 7 little grids. So then I know each grid will represent the days of the week. And so what I'm going to do is if I complete if I take my vitamins today, so that first grid will represent Monday, and then again I can see that if I haven't done any scheduled deep breathing or haven't gotten up from my desk, then I could go, I better start doing that, because that tension in our body can also create a lot of pain. So there we go. That's one side. So what I'm going to do here is the tasks. So let me just, this is going to be a bit difficult. If you ever find yourself, if your journal, so see how one side is still quite thick. I think with this one, let me see, and I won't. I normally just get a little, if you got, the same thickness as the other side, pop it at the bottom of your page. So now it will be flat. So you're not, you won't have that funny unevenness. So tasks, let me see. Here we go. Make sure that's in the middle. There. I'm going to start. See here, I penciled it in, but the middle will be here. Tasks. So then see how the little post-it note, or if on a piece of paper you write it down, it allows you to put it in the middle. Again, if you're pedantic like me that like to have it all in the middle, then, that's a great way. Now, also, just to make these task boxes pop on the page, just get yourself a gray Tombow or any gray marker or highlighter that you have. So this one is quite light, so I just double it up because the other gray I have is too dark. And then that just creates, again, it's one of those, is it really necessary, Marianne? Yes. And there's no argument. Okay, no. It's just a great way for you to, if these are the things. So for those that sometimes pop onto my Instagram, pop onto my Instagram page, don't understand. You can just do that on an Excel spreadsheet, or, you can just, why go through all that hassle? They don't realize that for lovers of planners and stationery, this is something that brings us joy. Just like if for them cooking, gardening, knitting, playing golf, fishing, whatever it is that bring you joy and that can bring you some me time and self-care, these are the things that, for you and me, us plannerettes, right? We enjoy this stuff. This is something that we enjoy. Speaking of those, sometimes, getting people on my Instagram page who don't understand, the planning community and the planner world, I reached over 100,000 followers on Instagram. Now, it is a vanity metrics thing. Vanity metrics means, it's for show, right? Anyone can. Hi, Elle, how are you? Nice to see you. Never late. I'm so happy you are here, my unicorn friend. How are you? So make sure you watch Elle. Elle's on YouTube as well, like Marcus and Irene, the budgeting mama. Who else is here that have a YouTube channel? Make sure we check each other's. Yes, thank you for my 100K. Make sure you we support each other. And so one of my I had a few probably a year ago now. A few of my reels or videos went viral, but my a recent one, I think it's over 7 million views. So again, it what that means is it brings on a lot of people who aren't my normal followers and just question. And sometimes, like the you get quite defensive, and then you go, Marianne, isn't it what you want? You wanted things to go viral. And so once that happens, is it'll get shown, it'll get pushed to people who aren't your normal followers, who aren't your normal viewers. So it comes with the thing. So yes, thank you so much, Karen. Thank you, Marcus. That's right, 100K. So I'm very, very happy with that. I've been trying to chase that for a while because I was actually very close to it in January of 2023. And then suddenly I thought, is Instagram punishing me because I had posted, you know, um, uh, my mental breakdown moment, and I thought, oh, who would want to see you crying, Marianne? And then I thought, so I don't know if I lost followers because of that, or things changed with Instagram, or they got rid of a lot of bots or whatever. But it takes a hit, on your self-esteem. So that's why really it shouldn't matter, right? Those that follow me, the true followers, will be with me through thick and thin, just like you, you plannerets here with me on the chat as well as on the replay. So, but still, it's still nice to be liked. So, but yeah, so what I'm going to do here with the running to do list is I'm going to list down all the tasks that I need to do for the week. And then what I'll do is, so in no chronological order, and then I'll go, all right, what do I need to do on the Monday? I'm going to just use a pencil. So then, so for example, I don't know, I want to go and clean the bathroom, but I don't want to do that today and tomorrow because today and tomorrow are quite busy for me. So I might want to put that a little dot here on Wednesday. Okay, so let me quickly show you. So I'm just going to put here clean bathroom. Okay, and then I'll put that on a Wednesday, and maybe I'm going to go and I don't know, check something. We don't have a car. We live in the city. So check something. Let's just pretend blah 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 blah. And I want to do that on Friday. So see, I'm making marking. So then for today, I will only look at tasks that I have assigned on a Monday. And then I don't need to worry about the other tasks. So this may not be all the tasks that you will do for the week. And you might have more tasks that you add as the week goes along and you assign. So what starts to happen is when with this Alistair method or running to-do list is when you start marking things. So let's say that's a Monday, let's pretend, this task here. And then if you see that, oh, I've already got quite a few things on a Monday, this is a great way for you to prioritize your tasks and not overexert yourself or put too much on your plate. Or let's say, Saturday is your day off. So you wouldn't want to put anything on a Saturday because then that just defeats the purpose of having a day off if you are assigning tasks for yourself. So this is a great way. So you'll start to see, all right, so I don't have anything on the Friday. Maybe I'll sign that on the Friday. And then, Saturday and Sunday really is my day off or time off. So, I might look at maybe only having one or two items on those days. So this is a great way, whether you put this, whether you have a running to-do list in your Hobonichi or in your other planners. I do have a printable. I've cut the margins off because I was running out of space on my little whiteboard. I magnetize it so that I do have a printable download to-do list. So as you can see here, I have assigned these different tasks on different dates. And then I cross it off, and then here are just some little keys. So dot is action it on a particular day. If you've completed it, cross it off. If you have to move it to the next day, there's a little arrow there. and then if you no longer need to do it. So this is a great way, and keeping everything on the one page, whether on here on a Hobonichi Cousin Weekly or however you want to put it. You can even put it on just a cheap exercise book. It doesn't have to be pretty. You just go, all right, Monday, Tuesday, all right, or you can have a printable download like this. I'll pop that on the floor. Just a really great way for you to start prioritizing your tasks. Thank you so much, Irene. Yes, yes, seven. I think it's at 7.6 million now. So yeah, it's amazing. And of course, with that comes a lot of oh, I've been doing that for years. It's like, well, if you've been doing what I was showing for years, why didn't you tell anybody? All right. So then the other task boxes I have here is this is I'm going to be my workout tracker. So which color? Maybe let's do the blue. And do I have workout there? I'm just going to do that. That looks like it's the middle. Workout. Bet you I'll stuff this up. Workout. Nope, I've got it. And then here is the days of the week. I won't do that now because I want to let's see if so there's the days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll put that in red, I think. And then this one here is going to be similar to this one, but I'm going to have this all as my social, for my Instagram, my YouTube, and whatever else that I need to do for the different social platforms that I'm on. So all my weekly tasks that I need to do, make sure, I'm doing my newsletter, I'm doing something else. Let's have a look. Social. There we go. There's my little one there. Let's pop that in the middle there. What color? Oh, before I do that, I'm going to do the yellow like I did with the other one. So let's do that. So it's going to look exactly the same as this one, but it's for my social tasks and to-dos. So like I said, yes, so we've got our budgeting mama is Irene. So she's on Instagram as well as here on YouTube. Elle Naturally, skincare and hair care. And so we've got Marcus as well, who's talks about social content and YouTube, creating YouTube content, and interviews different content creators on his channel, and he goes live as well. So I met Elle through one online course that I do, and then Marcus on another online course that I do. And so I love that we can make so many wonderful people through, shared likes and everything. And I consider them as my good friends, So sometimes your closest friends are the ones furthest away geographically. Isn't that a brilliant thing that we can meet each other through the different, like I said, the different shared likes and shared goals that we have. So if you ever feel, because sometimes it can get lonely, especially coming out of, the lockdowns. It can get a little bit lonely and you feel like you're struggling by yourself. Find yourself a community of like-minded people that really share the same stuff that you do, So it's really important that you find yes, other side of the world friends. Exactly. I love it, and we can rely on each other, that DMs, that, quick chats, and even chatting through live chats like this just really bring, your energy level up. So yeah, really important. Elle says, I'm following Budgeting Mama already. Excellent. I have to check if I'm following Marcus. Yes. So really great idea. So there we go, Marcus. I just subbed. Yes, I love Marcus tests a lot of the different new, features that come up with YouTube, and he does them live. So like with the vertical. YouTube recently did vertical, so he's trying out different layouts for his camera setting and all the different stuff. So make sure we support each other. Now, this task box, I'm just going to go, and other routines that I have is my logging on logging my mood in the morning, journaling, planning the day, my AM skincare, checking the email at the end of the day, tidying up before bed, writing in my 5 year journal, writing in my victory log. So, again, looking for the wins of the day. And the wins and victory doesn't have to be like the big 100K followers. Yes, what was a win yesterday that I go, oh, that's a win? I can't remember, but I was walking with my husband, and it was just like, that's a win. I think it was when we got to the light rail. So the one of the public transport we have here is a light rail. When we got to the station, there was one already there. And when it's hot, and my son, who's on the autism spectrum, and having to wait, and of course it was here Easter Sunday, the crowd, he gets quite anxious with the crowd, and all the noise and everything else. So we went, hey, that's a win. And of course we found a seat for him to sit on. So so those little things, celebrate the wins of the day. They don't have to be the big major milestones. It can be anything. And the more you look for all the good stuff, the more you will see it. And it'll vary. I'm not saying that there won't be any negative stuff in your day, but it won't be as obvious. So really important. Now, I'm going to write, did I do routines here? No, I didn't. So I'm going to go and do a mock one, or else I know if I just write on there, it's going to be too narrow if I don't write it correctly. That looks like it's going to fit in that space. Yes. So let's start it here. Routines. And so, yeah, these little brush marks, routines. Did I spell that right? So if you press on the tip, let me see if I can zoom in a bit more. So if you press, see how the brush tip here, it's quite flexible. See, it bends. So if you press down hard, it gives you a broad stroke. And then if you, just very lightly, it's thin stroke. Let me show you. So see how broad stroke, thin stroke. So it's just a matter of pressing, lifting light. So then you can go and do press, and then it creates that sort of like calligraphy. Press hard, lightly lift. Press hard, lightly lift. And then there you go. Hello. And it creates a beautiful little handwriting. So that's for, I'll write down all my other weekly routines once we get off thing. Social. Does that look like it's in the middle? Let's put it there. So what's your plan? I know for most of you it's Sunday. Have you got your family over, or is it already, they've already gone home and now it's time for you to go and clean up? They've left you to you alone and now it's cleanup time. Let me know. So yep. So Marcus says, thank you, Elle, for subbing. Karen says, I've seen so many videos of you. I consider you a friend as well. Yes, Karen, I love seeing your name as well on the chat. So I like, that's why we call ourselves the Plannerette, because it's just like our little group, little team here. I love it. And Elle just subbed to your channel. Yes. I love, I think my one recent video that Elle just produced was empty skincare, or dupes. I think it was the dupes one. So sometimes I see all these beautiful skincare and makeup, and they get so expensive. So Elle talks about affordable dupes to the different skincare and makeup. And so Yeah, so again, Elle and I met through the VRA. So Sean Cannell's Think Media, Sean Cannell from Think Media, his um, uh, online course on how to, um, do well in being a YouTube content creator. So I think they're currently doing a live conference in Las Vegas, um, but alas, I cannot attend. It is too far away. It'll cost too much. But yeah, so there we go. I'm just going to go and do the rest of the week while we are here. See how Wednesday, because it is a longer um, heading. If you're not too careful, you are going to run out of space. So that is why it's really important to write yourself a little template. So then that way, let's see, I just fold my little post-it note. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They're going, oh, did I do it wrong? That way, you can at least, for most times, you can at least have it nicely, evenly spaced in the middle of the column or the space you're going to be writing it in. So, this one, what I'm going to do is I paid for a year subscription of the Fit On app on your phone, and then I just follow the daily suggestions based on what you enter in on how fit you are, how often you've been exercising, and so I normally just do 20 minutes. I think what happens is when I get so eager to get all right. It's the first day of the month. I'm going to exercise and I'm going to make sure. And then I try and give myself too big a goal. So then, of course, when motivation isn't there, when discipline isn't there, my mind gets hijacked. They call it the amygdala hijack. That, oh, you want to put too much pressure on yourself by exercising every day. Are you crazy? That's going to, you're not going to do that. And so then it hijacks your mind and says, no, don't do it. All right, so that little note there, I'm probably just going to go and let's see, what can I do in that little space? Let's just create a little. I'll probably maybe put a little nice quote in there. So a little quote for the week as you know, um, an affirmation or a motivation. So just create yourself like a little line like that. So now let us have a look at the page. Okay, so there we go. Let's see what that looks like. Ta-da! Does that not look nice? So now I have everything on the same page. So then that way, even though I'll show you, even though I do have a habit tracker with all these different stuff um, uh, in this weekly, monthly tracker. So the monthly one is a great way for me to visually see how I go month in, month out. So let us see, where's February? All right, so this is a printable that I added to the Hobonichi. So this doesn't come with the Hobonichi cousin. So it's a printout, and then I just stuck it on with washi tapes. So in January, I see, look at that, beginning of the year, I do so well. And then let's have a look at February. Okay, not so much. Look at that. Normally, so I know my pattern that I fall off the wagon at the end of the month, but that's okay. I pick it up again. I'm not so hard on myself. I forgive myself. Now March, I was in a different a planner, but I did put that there because what I might do is I might just fill this in based on how I did in my habit tracker on a different printable. But this is the April one, so I think I don't have this in the printable, so I'll make sure sorry, in the description I'll make sure I'll pop it in. If you did want to have, you don't have to have print it and add it to a Hobonichi. You can add it to a an A5 planner, or you can just have a book. Start today, start in April. You don't have to start it in January. You can have just pay like this page, one after the other. So then you could start to see patterns. It's the patterns that's the missed days, right? When you don't fill in your habit tracker, the missed days tell you as much as the completed days. So maybe you go, you know what, at the end of the month, I don't do all, I don't complete my habits or I don't action them. That's okay, because you know why? I pick it up again, then into the new month. So see how you go. You know what? It's not like missed days, missed week, missed week, missed week, missed week, and then you go into the new month and it's still missed week, right? So for me, I go, all right, I know at the end of the week, see how here it's week, I've divided it, that I don't do my habits at the end of the week, but that's okay because I know when it starts the new week, I pick it up again. So be kind to yourself, be forgiving. By having a tracker like this, you get to see your patterns, and don't look at the patterns as in, oh, I don't do my habit tracker, I must be bad, I'm not good. For me, I forgive myself nowadays that I know whether it's the end of the month or the end of the week that I don't complete it, but you know what? I trust myself enough that I go pick it up again on a Monday. Then I'll drop I don't do it again on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Or I go, well, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is my day off. I'm okay with that. So if you are tracking your habits, or if you do have a planner, because I hear this day in, day out when I see comments, and planners are hard on themselves that they go, I didn't complete my page. I feel bad because I purchased such an expensive planner and I'm missing days. Let me show you. You know what you do with missed days? I had it here. I had a paper clip. You know what I paper clipped? I paper clipped. I think I paper clipped. Oh, I missed some days there. A paper clip. But what you do with missed days? Go get your beautiful markers and highlighters and just highlight, every second line. So then it doesn't look as bad that you missed date, right? It still looks pretty. Okay. There, 1, 2, 3 days that I missed. Just go get you, if you've got, it doesn't have to be that, because Tombow sometimes can get quite expensive per marker. Just go get a Crayola that's, for pack of 12, I think it's $5, or wherever you are in the world, whatever the currency is, just highlight, or just pick the one color. If you only have one color, highlight all your missed pages. And then what I do with this missed pages is I go back and use them for quotes. So here, I think this was a missed portion of the page, and I went, see, 4th of March. See there, 4th of March. This is 1st of March. So I use those empty spaces for, it's like, oh, I want to write something down, but it's technically doesn't fit in for today's. So use your blank pages. See, here's another blank page. So I use it to note down my top videos on Instagram. I'm tracking the videos that did well. And here again. So see, use your blank pages, and then if you get like parts of your blank pages, or half of it, do the line and then create a little border. That's empty, but doesn't that look nice? And then lining them up again is a great way for you to have that mindfulness time, that little bit of me time. So today I'm going to be starting from 1st of April. So I've gone back to using my Hobonichi cousin as a journaling log. Right, so there were 100K followers on Insta. And here yesterday, I felt myself being quite anxious in the morning about being scared. And so stop being scared, right? And then I wrote it down by talking, I talked myself into writing down, how I'm feeling. Labeling your emotions is a really great way to acknowledge why you're feeling that way and what might be causing it. What do you want to be true in April? if I was my own coach, what could I tell myself? Oh, I'll pop that in. So in my on mariannecresp.com. So for those of you that are new to my channel and my website, mariannecresp.com, under the, if you look at the top tab, there are freebies. There is a 30 morning journal prompts that, if you ever go, what do I write about? And you don't have to write all these lines. For me, I get so stuck in my head and I get quite anxious and down on myself. So this is a great way for me to talk to myself as if I was my own friend, right? Just so, as if one of you were talking to me and telling me, Marianne, you're doing a great job. Well done. Excellent. But sometimes I go, is that enough? Am I doing enough? Right. So there we go. Now, where was I up to? Yeah. So tracking your habits is a really great way. Now, let me quickly have a look. Here we go. We got Elle says, yay, budgeting mama. I thought I was sub, but I wasn't. So resub. Brilliant. Trying to save money and help us find alternate. That's right. I love dupes. And a lot of the times they're made by the same company, the same factory. It's just the label, right? So we know that with fashion that the same jeans, one could be $300 and one could be $50, but they're actually made in the same factory or same warehouse. So really important. So see, loving it, sharing and caring. You're welcome, Irene. Irene's one of a very long time viewer of my live stream. So whatever I can do to support. So the page, where were we? Was it here? Where is it? Where are we? Here. Oh yes, these sticker note tabs are from Square Lime Designs as well. So Christina actually just released her website. So she has a new website and just signed up for an affiliate program, so you can get 10% discount on the Square Lime design. So these stickers here, the sticker tabs and some of the other stickers, and 10% using my code Marianne. Thank you, Elle. Yes, I love it too. Once again, great visual, Marianne, to track habits. Fantastic. I love it. I love it. All right. So are we all good? Actually, if you guys are here, because it is Monday and it is a public holiday here in Australia, what I'll quickly show you is how I did the April. Where is my April? Up the top. All the top here, all the top tabs are for the calendar. These section here, so I've divided it in quarters, is for the weekly spread. And then these ones here are the beginning of the daily spread. So I purchased the digital version of these sticker tabs, but I think Christina has printed versions that can get shipped to you. So if you don't have a printer or you don't have a sticker paper that can cut it, really there. So let's have a look. So April, this one. So the way I did that, let me see if I can zoom in. I'm going to use my grid post-it note. I'll just do one. So grab yourself a pencil. I'm trying not to wipe my face because then I'll get makeup all over my fingers. All right, so let's just do A. I'm going to make it big so then you can see it. So just use your writing the way you would normally, write a capital A. So if you write your A on, a little bit slanted, you can do all that. It's the beauty of hand lettering. It is your own handwriting. And then I grab myself let me grab this one, the Koretake Z Clean Color Dot Marker. So one side is the round, soft, cushy sponge, and then the other side is a fine tip point. And so depending on how much pressure you put on the page is the size of the dots. So lightly press, small dots. Big press, big dots. Now do be mindful, these inks are quite pigmented. So if you are using a thin paper like an 80 GSM, it will bleed and it will ghost. So if you don't want bleeding, which is that you see the ink seep through, ghosting is you can see that little marking. You might want to pick a thicker paper if you're printing your own, or do a test on your page. So if you don't like that. So then what I do is grab the soft cushy end and you just go and outline the little pencil mark that you made. Boop, 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 boop. And you can leave it at that, erase the pencil marking. That looks fantastic on its own. Let's just do P here. Let me use a different marker. So it's going to go over that other one, but you know what, right? So just follow the little pencil marking. You might want to do the pencil marking quite lightly, because once the ink goes over it, it actually might trap the pencil lead into it, so it may not erase properly. So you can leave it at that, or use the fine tip, okay, and then just outline just the edges of those little cute dot markings that you have, and you just follow the circle. Of course, they're not all going to be even, so that's all right. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of hand lettering. So and now it looks like it's a bubble font, right? And then I think what I did is I just used a gray one, because I used on here very light baby blue and yellow. It didn't stand out enough. But if you're using a quite bright color, that on its own is not too bad. Let's see the baby blue one, or I think it's called Ocean. No, what's it called? Blue Bonnet. Look, there's Blue Bonnet. Okay. So see how if it's a lighter color, it may not stand. I'm just really doing it really quickly now. It may not stand out as much, right? So you might want to just pick a more brighter color. A brighter color. But if you want it even more, you can get another darker color, or this one is the platinum. Okay. And then I'm just doing this now. It's not as neat. And then this one. So if you're going to do these bubble things here, again, this is when it's important you go and do a template right on another piece of paper. So then you're not squishing your letters together, unless, of course, that's the way you want to do it. All right, so then that's just a good way. Or if you want, you can just space it out, so then it's not all. And then again, that gives a different effect. And so what you might want to do, so if that pencil isn't as dark, you can then just join the dots. So that's another great way to go and use the Kuretake Sig Clean. So let's do R. So you can do the fine line first, and then just go and do doop, 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 doop. See? Isn't this a great mindfulness? Imagine there we go. See, you can use your kuretake to help you create beautiful hand lettering fonts that is unique to you. Look at that. Won't that look? Oh, you can even mix and match. I think even mix and matching, right? And then you can, on your calendar, if you haven't set up your calendar yet, you can put that there. See, I had the yellow and blue. That's why. But now, I might add it, because there's the pink, the Sunday on the Hobonichi. So that's on the Hobonichi, the gray and the red. But I might even put some pink. I don't know. No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it, because I know if I touch that, I'm going to wreck it. You know how when you're like doing art, and then you go, oh, let's go and add a little bit more here, and then you mess the whole thing up. So I'm going to leave it as is. So even though here in Australia it is autumn, autumn colors are not my coloring. My coloring are all the bright colors, rainbow colors. So this one is pastel. So but yeah, so that's I probably will add to make because it looks a little bit bland at the moment, I'll probably add some colorful numbered stickers just to make those dates pop. So let's have a look. That is my April calendar. Oh, I can hear my stomach rumbling. I need to have breakfast. All right. So there is my the dub dub dub. There you go. That's right. Dub 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 dot dot dot. Now, of course, if you are liking this video, dub 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 that like button. Boop boop. Who was that? Is that Nate? Nate. But I won't use it. But dub 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 dot dot dot. Click that like button, and of course, if you do have plenty of friends that would enjoy getting all these different ideas for their planner, make sure you share it because it doesn't cost you anything, right? It's just a lovely click of a button or copy that link and say, hey, friend, Marianne has this great new video showing you how to embellish your calendar. And then let's look at the April weekly. There we go. That's ready to go. So I'll just pop in my routines off camera and then I'll do some of my morning routines. So if you are not a follower of mine on Instagram, please join the other 100K followers that I have on there, because then that's where I will normally show my daily routines on how I use this and, where I'm dabbing or dotting my completed tasks and everything else. And then for the month of April, I'm going to start using, or, I'll keep using my daily pages of my Hobonichi cousin as my journaling log. So here, and then I just use my Tombow Jewel brush pen. I outline the out edges with, I think these are Muji gel pens. Put some nice little stickers, and then that's how I've been using it. And forgive yourself if you have missed pages, because that is telling as much as this is. That probably was Monday, so it would have been, after my live stream, after a class that I did, and I probably napped the rest of the day, right? So that is a celebration, not a failure, because I took time off to rest. See how by swapping your mindset and looking at something that you would normally think as a failure, that I didn't fill that in, I rested. I caught up on my sleep. So start looking at these things in a different light. And if you still feel like you've dropped the ball, forgive yourself. You can begin again the next day. Okay, so that's how I'm going to use my daily page. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you are watching in the replay, make sure to say hello in the comments section. And of course, make sure you have a beautiful week. I appreciate you being here. Happy Easter. Happy little holiday. Don't eat too many chocolate Easter eggs. I got Ferrero Rocher. I don't know if do you have Ferrero Rocher where you are? That's what I had for my Easter. So, and then we had a nice little outing yesterday and got some ice cream and just walked around the botanical gardens here in Sydney, Australia. I appreciate you, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye.